Winston Churchill once observed that we shape our environment once, and then it shapes us forever. We spend on average 11 hours a day in intimate contact with chairs, and they are reshaping us for the worse. Much worse. But what if we started over with a clean sheet of paper, got rid of the headrest, all that stuff? What if we got rid of the fixed seat? What would that look like? Is that even possible? Well, after a year of failed prototypes, I discovered this geometric solid. It's the volume of intersection of two cylinders at right angles. Placed on top of a surface with another surface placed on top of it, it can rock on the surface it sits on, and the surface on top of it can also rock, allowing rocking in every direction. If we take that shape and put it under the seat pan of a chair, we get a chair that moves in all directions. If you sit on it, it allows, actually it requires, moment-to-moment adjustment of your posture. But it all happens at the spinal reflex level. Your conscious brain is free to listen in to the conversation that your spine is having with gravity. But it all happens without any user input. It just kind of feels like floating. So it feels interesting, but is it accomplishing anything? Well, we don't yet have any double-blind crossover study kind of data, but here's a story. We sometimes go down to Church Street, the walking street in Burlington, and just put out a few chairs just to see. And these things attract people like flypaper, and it usually goes like this. You know, people are a little hesitant, and then they give it a little wiggle, and then they sit down on it, and they immediately lose their balance, and then they very quickly find their center. And over the next 90 to 120 seconds, their sternum comes up and their head comes back. The skull balances on C1 and C2, the atlas and axis, the first two cervical vertebrae. Their lumbar lordosis, the low back curve, reasserts itself. Their shoulders relax. And pretty quickly, they're sitting with the casual posture of a baby sitting on the beach. So anyway, we're sitting on Church Street, and a young woman, maybe 13 or 14 years old, comes and sits down on one of our chairs, and she's just sitting there kind of blissing out in the sun. No phone, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then she gets up and walks away. But before she gets 10 paces, she says, "You know, I think it makes me walk better," as though some postural reset button had been pushed.